Welcome to Breakthrough with Jeff and Destiny Life Coaching. If you're watching me from wherever you're watching me, the show is Breakthrough with Jeff, and the program is Destiny Life Coaching. That's what I work for. That's my mission, to help people unleash their destiny. No matter what topic we are handling, the goal is for you to come to a place of clarity, mission, connection, certainty, confidence, what we call destiny. And so how are you doing today? Just share with me down there. How are you doing today? We are answering one of the community members. And just in case you are yet to subscribe to the Breakthrough Show, that's the community I'm talking about. Building a community of people that believe that nothing can stop them from becoming the person they were born to be. And this life is too short to live someone else's life, or to live a life that is half your potential. And so we meet on a weekly basis, interact at Breakthrough with Jeff, to sharpen our minds, to light our soul, so we can live that life we were born to live. See, the mind is very interesting. The mind will bring to you what you train it to bring to you. And so all of us have a responsibility to train our mind to lead us towards our destiny, not to work against us. So your mind can be your worst enemy or your best friend. So the question is, how do I know he loves me? Now, because this question, of course, the person who asked this question, this is a lady, I'll not mention her name, but even as a guy, how do you know someone loves you? How do you know? Because some people have been going for dates, from January to December. For years, you've been hanging around someone, but you don't know whether they love you. How do you know whether they love you? So I took this as a valid question, and one that is common among so many people. How do I know someone loves me? And one key to actually be certain, to be sure someone loves you, to have just that sign that someone loves you, is there's a sense of safety when you're with them. There's a sense of safety. You feel safe when you're with this person. And this is not just for single people. This is, I know, and I have met married people that you've been married for over 10 years, 20 years, and you don't know whether the person loves you. That is very common. And don't be shocked if you get into a married situation, 1 year, you don't know. 2 years, and you said yes to someone. You don't know. You're not sure whether they love you. And by the way, one of the ways to be certain of yourself, to be sure in a relationship, is, first of all, be sure of yourself. Take some time to find yourself. Find yourself. Find that sense of grounded certainty within you, because then you will not be lied to. You see, if you're used to money, you can tell a fake one. You can tell when someone loves you or not. You can tell, real money, if you're used to money. But if you're not used to money, you can't tell. You can't tell if someone, if the real from the fake. So some people have been in relationships for 10 years. They don't know. They are living by faith. They just existing. You don't know. You just surrender to God. Well, that's a good thing to do. But it's good for you to realize these signs so that you're sure, especially if you're not yet into a marriage situation. If you're in a marriage situation, it's not over. It's not over. You can actually recreate that sense of safety by beginning with yourself. The challenge we have in relationships is when you want change to begin with your spouse. Never happens. Change begins with you. Be the change you want to see. And that's why I'm saying, even though we are saying for you to know someone loves you, there needs to be a sense of safety. In that sense of safety, your heart needs to say yes from a deeper place where you're settled in that relationship. You are settled and grounded. That is important. But then you have to get there from within. It has to start with you. There are levels of relationship. The first level of relationship is selfish level, where it's all about you. You're here to meet your needs. You're here for the other person to make you feel safe. But then after some time, you deepen your relationship and you go to the second level where you are here to meet the other person's needs as well as your own needs. If you're blessed in this lifetime, you go to the third level where you're here, you've met your needs, you're certain of yourself, between you and God, all your needs are met. You're here to serve this person because you love them. Now, let's be honest. Not many people will ever get there in their lifetime. Why? Because of something we call ego. It's a disease. It's a virus. It's called ego. Ego is ego, stands for aging God out. Anytime in a relationship where you allow your ego to check in, then life becomes just about you. And sometimes, we can validate our beliefs that it's about me. But I tell you, when it comes to relationships, it's totally different. It's not just about you. It's about love. And love and ego never coexist. They are the opposite. Ego is edging God out. Living begins, and what I call maturity in life, maturity in relationships, begins when you begin to love the other person unconditionally, without conditions. And this is where you give them a sense of certainty and security that is so secure and grounded. But you see, that's something you cannot demand from the other person. It's something you have to give yourself first and then be of service to the other person. Well, most relationships, they are not that mature. They've not really, and that's why most people say there's no love. Yes, there is no love to someone that is full of ego. There's no love. In fact, there's no room for love for you. And so all you can have is your ego. That's all you can endure in this life. Forget about love. Love is for mature people. Love is deep. Love is about death of self. Love is about crucifying yourself. It's not for babies. Love is not for babies. As I tell young people, please mind your business. Before you're 25, don't think about these things. Go to school, mind your business, work, find your money, find a job, mind your business. Love is not for babies. But then you can begin to train yourself to come from a place of love. You're ready. When you can easily let go of ego, then you're ready for love. When you can die to self and love the other person unconditionally, which is the third level of love and relationship. And that's why we are dealing with so much drama in relationship. Now, another way you can know someone loves you is they are able to listen to you without judging you. See, some of us listen to give our opinion. In fact, we don't listen. We give you time to say whatever it is you're saying so we can say our point. But then one sign someone really loves you is they listen deeply to you. They listen without judgment. They're not judging you. They are listening to you. They want to hear you. What is it that, they care about what you're saying. And someone loves you when they really deeply, without judgment, listens to you. But when you hear someone tell, I knew it, I knew what you were going to say, they were not listening to you. They don't love you. They are selfish. They are egoistic. Yeah? And they are only here for their own needs. They're not here to serve you. That is someone you can bless them and leave them. Because really, if they are not coming to that place of submission, because when you study books like the Bible, it talks about submission. For both parties, submit one to one another. That's what love is about. Love is not about ego. But then most of us, we begin from a place of ego. So we want to be listened to, but we don't want to listen. The reason we are given two of this and one is so we can listen more than we speak. And so for you to listen, you have to prioritize your partner's needs. The need to be heard, the need to connect. Prioritize their needs. Now, to do that, you have to die to your ego. And I'm sure you may listen to me, how about me? How about me? I mean, if they can't hear me, let them go. They're not the right ones. Listen deeply to them. Serve them by listening to them. This is one of the ways you can know someone loves you. But if it's just about them, the conversation is always one-sided. It's always about me. It's always about my glory. It's always about what I'm doing. No. Another way to actually, that is connected to listening and to living without judgment, is actually the idea of being acknowledged, and appreciated for who you are, rather than seeking to change you. See, there are people that for them to love you, they want to change you. If you can be appreciated, if your partner appreciates you for who you are, even appreciates your journey, what you've been through, appreciates even some of the things you're making efforts to change, they acknowledge that, people are different, then that you're actually dating a mature person. If they're not trying to change you. But you see, most people are trying to change you. When you meet a mature person in a relationship, their core focus is to change themselves, not to change you. And so if you're in a relationship where from morning to evening, your spouse's mission is to change you, you're dating a baby, no matter how old they are. Your love is toddler kind of love. It's not mature. When you mature, you focus on yourself. You focus on changing yourself and serving the other person. Because guess what? You cannot change the other person. Have you realized that? That even when you're professional, like a coach, like me, or a counselor, you cannot even counsel your wife. You have to find another professional. Why? It's a different relationship. It's a different ball game. You focus on changing yourself first, rather than focusing on changing the other person. Now, a person that focuses on changing on the other person, they are selfish. They think that they are perfect. and they are not yet mature. They're not ready for love. Now, this is how you know you're ready for love. It's like we are handling two subjects here. How do I know I'm ready for love, and how do I know the other person loves me? You know you're ready for love because you're coming from a place of love, not ego, not judgment. You're not judging the other person. And another key factor in a relationship, you can know there is love, is there is unhindered communication. And communication is not saying something. Communication is seeking to know whether you've been heard. Did I hear the other person? Why? Human beings have got what we call generalization, deletion, exaggeration of stuff in our mind, given our preconditioning of our mind. And so that's why when you fall in love with someone, you want to understand their processes. How do they process? What is their love language? How do they process life? So you may say something and you think they heard you in the way you said it, but they have not, because they're different from you. They have different, what do you call it? They see the message differently. And so you want to ask, what did you hear me say? Okay. And I know at some point in our relationship, my wife would assume I've heard her, and it's totally a different story. I heard something different because I'm a different person, especially if you're dating the opposite sex. Men see differently from women. Women see differently. And so you understanding that we are different. And so you can ask, don't assume, don't mind read, and don't expect the other person to read your mind. Did you hear me? What did you hear? I'm just curious, what did you hear? Can we recap? For you to really fall in love, you have to be a practical psychologist. You need a degree in psychology. But let me hear from your comments down there, your experiences. How do you know someone loves you, and how do you know you're ready for love? Let's discuss. Let's have a conversation here. Talk to me. How do you know someone loves you? And how? How are you sure the person you're dating right now, the person you are with right now, loves you? How do you know? Help someone on the comments. Help someone. And if you've not joined the community, remember, Breakthrough with Jeff, there's a link down there. Join the community, contribute. Remember, one way to grow is to contribute. If you're not contributing to anyone on this planet, you're not growing. Again, you're still a baby. How do you know? Another thing, and this I tell young people, is someone loves you if they encourage you to pursue your dreams. If they motivate you, they encourage you to do your thing, to do your own thing, to pursue your own dreams. They don't choke you on a corner somewhere, because that is selfishness, and selfishness is not love. If they encourage you to pursue your dreams, to become who you were born to be, and there's a sense of trust, that person loves you. And so all we are talking about here are signs of love. And the opposite is ego. Ego is driven by fear. And the greatest fear is that you're not enough, is that you don't deserve, is that you don't even deserve to exist. And some of us, we hang around people because we feel we are not enough and that we don't deserve and we are not lovable. Let me tell you, this journey begins from within, by loving yourself. That's how you find love. Loving yourself first. Do you love yourself? Do you love spending time with you? Or are you scared of yourself? Are you scared of spending time with yourself? So I wish you a week of love. And make sure you comment down there. I would like to know your questions on this subject and your experience also. How do we know? How do I know he loves me? How do I know she loves me? Comment down below and let's help one another. Thank you. This is Jeff Israel with Breakthrough with Jeff, where we live life with zero limits. God bless.